speak to those of you that are just joining who don't know a lot about Shackley. And for those of you that have been on for the weekend, I think we want to give a big round of applause and thank you to all of to certainly Tony and Debbie for arranging this, and all of the people, and Jennifer that have helped really create and share and make this thing tremendous. I won't try and name everybody because it's been awesome. My job, and my apologies to those of you that have heard this a couple of times already, my job is to tell the story so that those of you who are looking at this for the first time, who maybe don't know a lot about Shackley, can get a real feel for who we are, what we are, kind of from the beginning with a broad brush stroke, and give you the chance to decide, is this worthwhile for me? Is this something that can make a difference in my life? So I'm going to speak to those of you who are relatively new and kind of tell you the story a little bit from the beginning. And I'll keep it short. We'll keep it under 3 or 4 hours, so you can be done in time for happy hour or something. But I do want to just share my screen and share a little bit about the story from the beginning, so that you can decide. Does this fit for you? Is there value in your life? I think we know this. I think that these are crazy times, and we all know that we're unprecedented. A lot of people have talked about that. I think more than ever, people are looking at reasons that they should pay more attention to their health and their safety and their immunity and staying young and staying healthy and staying vibrant. But also at the same time, people are looking for options to create some flexibility and some choices in their life and some security in these insecure times. I will say that I'll reintroduce myself for you guests who are here the first time. This is my wife, Carmen. We've been in Shackley for 15 years. I actually was professionally educated as a commercial airline pilot. I went to one of the best civilian aviation schools in the country, the University of North Dakota. Got my commercial pilot's degree. I added a business degree. I'm a flight instructor and a multi-engine pilot. And that was back a few years ago now, in the late 90s. That was my plan. Everybody has their plan in life, where you're going to go to school, get an education, and then this is what I'm going to do professionally. And my last semester of college, a guy that my then girlfriend, now wife, and I were working with at a Mexican restaurant said, "Hey, do you guys want to check out a way to make some money in your spare time?" And for me, spare time at that time was non-existent, like it is for everyone all the time. It doesn't exist. I had 21 credits, was president of a fraternity on campus, was trying to work 2 jobs to make ends meet. I had borrowed $80,000 to do my undergraduate aviation degree. And so there was all kinds of balls being juggled. Fortunately, Carmen was the smart one, and she sat down and she took a look at a company in this profession, in the networking profession. It was a different company at the time, and I didn't see big visions. We saw something we could do together part time to earn a few $100s a month, and that's how we started. And then I went to an event that was in person in Minneapolis, but not a lot different than this virtual chance that we're hanging out here together. I saw people who had come from a profession and decided to make this a career. And I saw people like Steve and Jeannie Tuvell that said, this is the kind of life that this has given me. I get to, blow the snow out of my driveway sooner than anybody else because they're all at work and I don't have to work. And I saw people that play golf on Tuesdays, because why would you do that on Saturday? That's when everybody else plays. And I saw people that went to the grocery stores on Thursday mornings, because why would you do that after church on Sunday? That's silly. That's when everyone goes. And they had money, and they had lifestyle, and they had freedom, and they drove nice cars, and they were happy, and they weren't stressed. And I'm like, that's awesome. I would like to do that. Because all my buddies that had gone into flying were a couple years older than me. We're all, flying 10 hours a day, making 12 grand a year to try and get enough experience to where they could actually get a job that paid them some money. And I said, I love to fly, but gosh, this is an amazing lifestyle. So Carmen and I spent the next 5 years trying to learn how to do this kind of a business. We made every mistake. I tell people we made most of them twice just to make sure they were wrong. And eventually we kind of started to figure it out. It wasn't quick. We didn't make a bunch of money up front right away. But I will tell you, after 8 or 9 years, we were fortunate enough that we were earning $30,000, $40,000 a month. After about 9 years of building it, and we had done a lot of work in Europe, and life was good. And I was about 31. And then all of a sudden, we got a call saying our company was going bankrupt, and like tomorrow morning. and our last paycheck was Friday. And so professionally, everything you built for 9 years was falling apart. And, I look back, and sometimes you don't realize that the traumatic, terrible things in life, actually have purpose for good. And, I first of all just wish everybody here, all of your families, health and safety during these, uncertain times. I just hope your families are safe and healthy, and we're going through a tough thing right now. I think, once you take the core importance, and you deal with that as everyone's healthy and safe, and then you take a look at the other impact of what we're dealing with this virus. There's a lot of silver linings here. There are a lot of really good things. There's a lot of good purpose that's going to come from what has been a really difficult, tragic thing. And so that's what happened to us 9 years ago. We found Shackley, and gosh, it's the best thing that ever happened professionally to us. We've been fortunate enough to have earned many millions of dollars in this company, and lived around the world and traveled around the world. And we live in Fargo, North Dakota. Tony makes fun of that because Fargo is a really nice place to live as long as you don't have to be there all the time. As long as you can leave once in a while, it's good. But right now we're at our lake place in northern Minnesota. We bought a piece of an old resort. It's a 10 acre property. We have 300 feet of beautiful sand beach and one of the most desirable lakes in northern Minnesota. And we got a bunch of fun stuff. We got a Frisbee golf course that I'll play with my son later. Darn 14-year-old starts to beat you when they get to be that age. But all of these things because of Shackley. We're very grateful to find this opportunity, and it came from something just kind of tragically falling apart. We wanted something that created some stability and some longevity and gave us lifestyle experience. And so this is my wife, Carmen, our son, London, our daughter, Jade. And I show you this picture for those of you that are new, because our daughter we adopted when she was 3, right after her 3rd birthday. She had been found in a basket outside of a subway station in Shanghai and lived in an orphanage for the first 3 years of her life. And she didn't have a whole lot of prospects for a future. And then one day, we were blessed with this beautiful little girl who's smart and funny and super observant and intelligent and just incredible. And she's going to have an unbelievable life ahead of her. She'll be able to go to college where she wants and do what she wants to do with her life. And all of that changed in one day. And I tell you that because for those of you that are guests checking in, I liken this chance to Jade's experience, that some of you may see something here that changes the trajectory of your thinking and your future and your life and the life of your children and grandchildren. Now, I'm not trying to be, overly dramatic or melodramatic, but some of you will look back to this Zoom webinar where, 600-700 of us got together from all over North America. We hung out on the computer together, and you say, you know what? That's when something clicked in my head, and it helped me see that I could create a different life. And so maybe Jade's experience 5 years ago now will be similar to yours today. But I do want to start by asking you 5 questions for those of you that are new. And I will tell you, I'll preface it by saying, if you can answer yes, and now listen to what I'm saying. If you can answer yes to these 5 questions, I'm going to suggest that you join the Shackley family, either as a consumer or as a partner with us, a business partner with us, okay? Because you know what, you won't get all the details here in the next 15 minutes, but you'll get enough to know whether A, you have a need, and B, you think you can do this, and C, whether it's worthwhile. Because number 1, is there a need for what we offer people? Number 2, is this a quality company? Can you be proud to be associated with it? Do we have a good culture and a mission? Do the products work? Is it worthwhile? Are there benefits? Because if there's not benefits, don't do this, right? We don't do this, for no reason. You do this because it's rewarding and you change people's lives and there are benefits. And then number 5, what do you do? And can you see yourself doing it? So if you can answer yes, join our team. What do we offer? The consumer side of Shackley, for longer than anybody else, has helped people look younger, feel younger, lose weight, have more energy, be more beautiful, stay healthy, get out of the health care, which is the sick care world, get into wellness, the well care, boost their immunity, and help people be younger and more beautiful. Who does not want that? I don't care where you grew up. I don't care what country, what language you speak. It doesn't matter. This is something that everybody wants. And Shackley's been doing this naturally longer than anybody. The business side of it. I think with tens of millions of people unemployed, hundreds of millions of people in North America, everybody, 100% of people affected, either directly or indirectly. people that really thought they had a secure financial future are looking at this saying, wow, it is not where I thought. I have to create some choices, either some part-time choices to supplement income, or I need to make a career change. I want to take control of my life. I want to take control of my time. And if you could do that while traveling the world, making a bunch of new friends, earning a bunch of money, being your own boss, working with great people, being recognized and awarded the chance to walk across stage here when all of this craziness passes in front of 4, 5, 6, 7,000 people and get awarded for the work that you do and create some choices in your life, do people want that? Yes or no? I'm telling you, people, everybody wants that to some degree. Everybody wants what it is that Shackley has to offer. And so when you take a look at the company, is it a good company? Can I be proud? So yeah, the answer to question number one is yes. People want what we offer. Question number two is can you be proud of this company? It's our home office in Pleasanton, California, in East Bay, out of San Francisco, and it's an amazing place with an amazing history. And I'll tell you this: over 100 years ago, one guy in Iowa, Forrest C. Shackley, came up with an idea, and he said, I'm going to use Western science to take from nature, to make all to take from nature, to give the body, make products naturally that the body can use to keep itself at optimal health. Like, I'm not going to use a lab to create, synthetic chemical compounds. I am going to find a way to take what God gave nature and let the body use it so the body can stay healthy. And then if I do that, I have a responsibility to give back to nature in equal part. It's very much a yin-yang, yin-yang. It's very balanced philosophy. And we have a responsibility to take care of the planet and yet give people natural substances. And therefore, he created the first multivitamin in the United States in 1915. We pioneered the idea of natural nutritional supplements. And that idea 100 years ago, before any of us were born, before any of our parents were probably born, is the reason we've got 600-700 of us together here this morning. It's pretty wild if you think about it. There are very few things that are relevant 100+ years later. And Dr. Shackley said, here's the deal. I'm going to make a better product. And we're going to stick to these guidelines of creating a natural product. I actually watched an interview of Dr. Shackley from 1973, May of 1973, done on television. And I was born in January 1973. So I'm watching a recorded interview of Dr. Shackley talking 4 months after I was born, talking about creating a product that would never harm a tissue cell, a human tissue cell. I mean, 47 years ago, he's talking about this before anybody was interested in that. And he said, we're going to make a better product. And we need people to tell the story because I can't put it on the shelf. I cannot put this product on the shelf at Costco or Walmart next to whoever else and have people just look at it because people don't know the difference. We need people to tell the story. Therefore, I will spend money paying people to tell the story. I will not spend big advertising budgets and marketing budgets and things like that. We'll take our largest percentage of sales when I start the company in 1956. He was 62 years old, by the way. And we're going to give it to people to help tell the story. Because number one, it works better. Number two, it gives people a chance to change their futures. So he really was a philosopher, an inventor, and a chiropractor and a medical doctor. Amazing guy that the culture and history he started over 100 years ago is relevant here today. Fast forward to 2004. So in that period, Shackley becomes a Fortune 500 company. We've paid out billions and billions and billions of dollars in commissions. We're in multiple countries all over the world with a lot more countries to go to over the next 10 to 20 years. Boom, Roger Barnett buys Shackley. One of the most successful businessmen in the world. Spends 5 years of his life looking for a company that he can have generationally, that he can spend the rest of his professional career on, and then his kids can take over and so on. Buys Shackley, and he's one of the most connected guys in the world. Put it this way: Roger is set to become the chairman of the World Federation of Direct Selling Companies, of all of them. He's very, very well connected. He buys Shackley, becomes part of the Shackley family. He says, we're going to revitalize and re-energize the brand domestically in the US and Canada, and we're going to bring this brand around the world. Let people know that the oldest story of natural nutrition and the people that started the idea are here and relevant and more relevant today than ever, and we're going to bring that around the world, which is pretty cool. And so when you talk about the company, can you be proud of this company? We could talk for hours on that. And what I will tell you is that too many things, the big print giveth and the small print taketh away. And in Shackley, it's the opposite. Like, everything looks great. And then when you dig into the details, you're like, wow, that's amazing. Really? The products do that? We have that kind of culture and history. So you can certainly be proud of it. The more you learn, the more you love Shackley. So let's, question number 2. Yes, you can be proud of Shackley. Question number 3, are the products any good? 100 years we've been doing this. I got to be honest with you. When Carmen and I joined, we were looking for a business. I didn't have any experience in nutrition. I had never really taken anything. I thought vitamins were for old people, right? But, you know, a lot of people say, well, I'll do the business if the products are good. And I get that. But we joined as a business. I needed a business. And I looked at it and said, at that time, the company of Shackley had been running since 1956. Gosh, they've been in business for 50 years. And I said, if people have been buying their product for 50 years, there has to be a good product. Somebody has to like what you sell. It must work. And I said, well, let's be in business. Let's go start doing the business. But let's take some product ourselves. And what you'll find is that Shackley continues to innovate. We've got over 300 products in these 4 categories. We're focused on what we're good at, which is helping people be healthy in the inside naturally, the outside naturally, and in your environment naturally. Healthy weight, healthy beauty, healthy home. So we are good at what we do, and continue to invest in research and development. Now, people ask me, how do I know if the products are good? There's 3 ways. You can listen to our smart scientists, because we've got some of the best in the world, and listen to their presentations, and you can get into the intellectual reasons and the studies and all the nitty gritty, and you will be wowed. If that's how your brain works, you'll be wowed. And by the way, a little aside here, I use a lot of this content all over the world. And so when I was putting this PowerPoint together and there were Chinese characters on there, I said, I'm going to leave it. I can't read it, but I'm going to leave the Chinese characters in there because I think the story of Shackley is relevant regardless of where you live or who you are or what language you speak or what culture or background or history you've got. I think it's relevant. And so I hope it's okay that you'll see a few Chinese characters in here and there. So number 1, learn the science. Number 2, see what they do to other people. I'm going to show you some pictures of that in a second. And number 3, the best way, use them yourself. Prove them to yourself. Every single day. We use Shackley products. And what you'll find is that there's a difference in our products. We've got 100 patents, more clinical studies than anybody. 140 plus Olympic medals have been won by people using Shackley products. Not because we pay them to, but because they choose to. Our products have been on every NASA mission since 1993. And we've got this wild study done by UC Berkeley of people using products over 20 years that proves you take little to no medication, much lower risk of dementia, good metabolic health, better cardiovascular health. I mean, this is UC Berkeley study stuff. So if you're looking for the studies and things, they're there. It's crazy. What I'm going to tell you is that people just look different. You know, Sheena and Tracy are great friends of ours that we partnered with a number of years back. Pictures on the left are when they joined Shackley. The pictures on the right are them now, 5 years later. I mean, they just look younger and healthier. And I mean, that's the thing, is that when you use products over the course of time, you look and feel younger. And isn't that what everybody wants? You don't want to get older. You want to feel younger. You want to feel at 47 the way you did at 27. There's no reason you can't. There's no reason we shouldn't. Look at this lady, one of our partners in Asia. With her in the black dress, she's 62. This lady is 62, and in the orange shirt is what she looked like when she joined. Totally different person. Okay, Stella on the left from 2013 or 2016 to 2019. If you look at those two, 2016, 2019. Amazing difference. The lady on the right owns a packaging company on the eastern shores of China, and wonderful lady, business lady, and had never done anything like this. Took the products, just looked at her change. Now she's doing the business because it changes how you look. So what I'm telling you is that it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman or young or old or where you grow up, the products will make a difference for you. Lily and William are great friends of ours. Lily, this was them before. And this is the one on the right is them today. And Lily is a presidential master coordinator. She has an 8th grade education, and he makes somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000 a month currently, and looks 10 years younger than she did when she joined. Now, I'm telling you that that we don't guarantee that that happens to everybody, but I can guarantee that it'll change you if you allow it. Look at Sandy. She's our #1 presidential master coordinator in Asia. Gosh, just out of pictures worth 1,000 words. I don't have anything to say. She's just a completely different person. Sandy makes somewhere between $40,000 and $50,000 a month. Has an amazing team, and this is her before Shackley and after. So what I'm telling you is that you will have your own story. If you use the products, you will have your story. Some people get really big stories right away. Other people get smaller stories over the course of time. Everybody has a story. It will change you if you allow the products to do that over the course of time. People say, wow, okay, so the products sound good. Don't believe me. Take them. Just take them yourself. Just prove it to yourself. That's what Carmen and I did. And how do you do that? What should you do? You should join the Prove It Challenge. For those of you that are new, take the Prove It Challenge. It's that package of products right there. It's our Life Shake and a Vitalizer strip and our patented immunity product every day. Breakfast. That's been my breakfast for 15 years. It was my breakfast this morning. I tell you what, I never miss a day of that. But you take that, I'm telling you, when I travel in Asia, a lot of places will include breakfast at the hotels. And I'll stay at these 5-star hotels, and it's all free breakfast. Anything you want. Western food, Eastern food, massive rooms, free breakfast. I never go, even if it's free. I just never feel as good as I do if I have that package right there for breakfast. It replaces a meal. It levels your blood sugar so you're not hungry. It gives you enough calories so that you're full till lunch. Good clear thinking, good stable energy. Boom, done. You just feel better. Now, if all you're interested in is feeling better, do that. Just do that. And it's got all these crazy vitamins and minerals in there. I'm not going to get into it, but you look at all of the vitamins and minerals that are packed into that package with no added sugar, 20 grams of protein, gluten-free, vegan, dairy-free, cholesterol-free, blah. You just natural. You can't get it anywhere. It's exclusive to Shackley. So that's what you do. Take the Prove It Challenge. That's it. That's step one. Now, if you're saying, talk to me about benefits, why would I share this with people? What would I get from it? Then join as a distributor. If you join as a distributor, it's normally $50. It's on special through the end of June. It's $25 to get a distributor package. So you get the Prove It Challenge and you join as a distributor. Then I would also suggest looking at our success packs, getting into some of our other product lines, because new distributors get a discount, a nice discount for when they first join for trying our skincare line, which just is unbelievable, or our weight management line or our sports nutrition line. Those are available to you at a discount when you first join. You can talk to the person that put you on this call about that. And my voice is going a little bit because this is the third time we've done this, but maybe it's because I'm too excited. That could be too. So step one, take the Prove It Challenge. Step two, share the Prove It Challenge. That's it. That's all we do. It's really simple, actually. Share it with 30 people, not 29, not 31, 30. Why 30? Because it's a definitive number that is an activity-driven goal, and anybody can do it. People say, well, how do I share it? Shackley's got this great 54-second video, literally 50-some seconds, less than a minute. You can text people or Instagram them, or you share it through Facebook Messenger, or it doesn't matter. Let people take a look at the Prove It Challenge and then say, hey, look, I'm going to take this Prove It Challenge, try and feel better. Because if you take that Prove It Challenge and you don't feel better, radically better, the company, it's $159, including shipping, and it's guaranteed. If you take it and you don't like it, call the company and say, I didn't like it. They say, great, here's your $159 back. Zero risk, no risk whatsoever to feel better. I mean, 100% of the people should try it. Not everybody does. I don't know why. But literally no risk at all to feel better. So if you're a distributor, you share that video with people. You say, I'm going to do this Prove It Challenge, try and feel better. It's guaranteed, 30 days. Let's do it together. Get 4, 5, 6 of you doing it together. And Shackley pays you daily. They deposit money into your bank account the next day. I'm not going to get into the details of that. We'll talk about that with the person who put you on the call. But not only that, they've put together a stimulus package that says they will guarantee $1,000 in income. If you do A, B, and C, Shackley guarantees you'll earn $1,000. There's no, I hope I can get paid or whatever. Do this, this, and this, you earn $1,000, guaranteed at least. So, I mean, in today's world, I mean, $1,000 doesn't send your kids to college, but it's not nothing. $1,000 is that makes a difference for most people when we can guarantee that type of an income. So that's step two. So It's pretty simple. Now, are there benefits? I'm going to just share with you what I call the main benefits package for creating a success brick. That's you in the big circle up on top. So if you share the Rubik Challenge with 30 people, the target is to find 10 to 15 families that just simply use Shaklee's products to have better health. Some families use a lot, other families use a little, but that's kind of a goal, 10 to 15 families. And if you share it with 30 people, typically that gets you started on the way of being able to accomplish that goal. Now, inside of that, there are also people that say, gosh, I'd like to travel. I'd like to earn a minimum $1,000. How does this work? And you teach 2 people to do what you did. Teach 1 person to share it with 30 people and create that 10 to 15 families, and then teach a second person to do that. And if you do, you become what we call a coordinator. Now, what are the benefits of that? I don't care whether you go fast or slow. It's up to you. Do it in a month, do it in 6 months, do it in 9 months. It's up to you how quickly you want to go. But here are the benefits. When you become a coordinator, Shaklee will pay you a residual income, meaning a recurring income like a salary, between $1,300 and $1,800 a month, depending on how big your sales are. So every single month, residually. They'll pay you $4,000 in upfront bonuses because we've got this 20K and 2020 program for reaching certain titles. Pay you $4,000 upfront. You'll earn hundreds of dollars in daily pay deposited into your bank account. You'll get a trip to San Francisco to go to Shaklee's global headquarters. It's awesome in East Bay. It's beautiful, an amazing training weekend. You get to tour the headquarters, meet all the important people that run the company. You get to go into wine country. It's really, really cool. First travel trip. Shaklee will also pay for your car. They will make your car payments for you. You just say, here's the car I bought. They say, great, we'll pay for 3 years of your car payments for you. And they will send you to Costa Rica next May of 2021. You qualify for a trip to Costa Rica. So that benefit package for sharing the Prove It Challenge, getting 10 to 15 families and teaching 2 people to do the same thing, fast or slow, I think is a pretty good first step benefit package. Now, for most people, that's a great benefit package, but it's not like, gosh, I can, dump my 6-figure income. But if that's what you want to do and just be free and stop working for somebody or have your own business, then become a senior master or a senior key or a key coordinator or a master coordinator. What I love about Shaklee is that we actually post what people earn. Like, not here's what we think you can earn, here's what you might. We actually disclose, like the coordinator level I showed you is the 3rd step up here. The average coordinator made $22,000 in Shaklee last year. The average presidential master made almost $600,000. So I will tell you that if you want to have amazing travel experiences, we've got a big one to Australia next year. If you want to make presidential master and have Shaklee give you the keys to a brand new $100,000 car, it's yours. If you want to create a 6-figure income, this is the place for you. Now, it's not going to happen. It's not a lottery. It's not like you buy the Prove It Challenge and then go to your phone and check your bank account on your app and look for your $100,000. It doesn't work that way. It takes some effort and time, but anything good in life takes a little effort. And especially when you're talking generational stuff. What you saw with Steve and Jeannie over, I think it's 38 years. Look at the life they've created over that amount of time, the places that they've been. I mean, Shaklee has spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on those 2 traveling, sending those guys traveling all over the world. And I think travel is a great thing because most people love to travel, but people really love it when it's free. I mean, that's a better deal. Because it's really hard to earn a bunch of money, pay your taxes, save, put your retirement, save for your kids' college fund, and then, let's have some leftover money to travel with. And it never ends up being enough for doing what you want to do. So my philosophy, Carmen's my philosophy for 15 years is, we'll do that. Let's let Shaklee pay for it. It's much more fun. Here's a couple of places that we've been. Been to Bora Bora in India and got a private tour of the Louvre Museum. Shaklee closed the Louvre. The Louvre closed, not because of a virus, but because of Shaklee. They gave us a private tour. We had a private selfie with Mona Lisa, which normally you can't even get close to her. It's absolutely amazing. Sat and drinking wine, watching the sunset on the Eiffel Tower. We put our feet up and said, "This is the life. This is not work. This is lifestyle." So then we kind of started putting our feet up wherever we went. Feet up in Vietnam, and on a Shaklee trip in Kenya, and a Shaklee trip in Mexico, and at the top of Machu Picchu on a Shaklee trip. And that's our beach. I'm going to go do that later today because it's going to be 70 degrees. I'll be out that door doing this later today. Top of the Great Wall of China. So you really can create a life. And I just wanted to give you an example of a couple of places, not so that you can say, oh, good for you guys. I'm telling you that because I want you to have that as a guest. I want that for you, and we want to help you. We've got literally hundreds of people on this call that want to help you accomplish that. So to kind of finish it up, I just want to give you a different perspective on the long play here. And what do I mean by that? When I joined Shackley, I was 30, 31, something like that. And I saw a bunch of people who were really healthy, who'd been in Shackley for longer than I'd been alive, like literally 30, 40, 50 years. And everybody was healthy and young, and they made money, and it was crazy. Like these wonderful, beautiful ladies here. All of them are master coordinator and above. They have all made millions and millions and millions of dollars in Shackley. They are all, I think, over 70, and they all take little to no medication, and they're young. They all look 20 years younger than they are, and they're young and vibrant and healthy, and have changed thousands of people's lives. And they've all pretty much probably been in Shackley as long or longer than I've been alive, close to it. That's amazing. And they're creating generational wealth for their kids and grandkids. You know, you look at Bev Dennis, started Shackley 55, 56 years ago, something like that. And she just started taking the products and told people. And here are the names of thousands and thousands of people whose lives have been changed because Bev made the decision to try some product 55 years ago, even 5 decades ago. That's wild. And you know, Ryan and Harper and their family have a place where they become master coordinators and have this amazing team and are growing and earning money and helping people be healthy and protecting the environment today because Bev tried product 50 years ago. And I think there are very few things in the world that you can have a direct impact on improving the health and wealth of your children, grandchildren, not just your own, but of really thousands of other people by simply sharing the story. It's pretty powerful. And not only that, in the wild world we live in, you can do it from anywhere. Do it from your office, do it from your bedroom, do it from the lawn, do it from your boat, do it from Starbucks whenever they open up. It's not hard to share with this thing to be able to work from anywhere and provide wellness for anyone with a company that's got history like no other. So, is there a need? I'm going to say yes. Is it a good company that you can be proud of? Quality with a great culture, philosophy and mission? I'm going to say yes. So do the products work? Don't believe me. Use them yourself. Prove it to yourself. Are there benefits? Is it worthwhile? Better than anything anywhere else, in my opinion. What should I do? It's simple. Those 2 steps. Now, can you see yourself doing it? That's what's on you. That is what's on you. And I'm going to tell you that you probably already know if you can. Excuse me. You probably already have a feeling. You probably already have something inside of you that maybe the heart's going a little faster and you're like, you know what? What if? What if? What if this actually might work? What if we could go to Costa Rica next year for free? What if I could get our car paid for? What if I could earn $1,000 minimum, guaranteed? Would it change your life? If that's where you are, join the team. Talk to the person who put you on this Zoom call and say, if you have no interest in the business benefit side of it all, I really encourage you to take the Prove It Challenge. Test it for 30 days, guaranteed. If you even have a little bit of interest, I would absolutely tell that person, look, I want to be a distributor. Talk to me about which success pack, if that fits in your life, and then get started and follow the training process that we've got, because the future is certainly different. The world will never be the same. We all know that. It will never be. It will never go back to where it was. I hope we can shake hands someday still, you know, but it's a good thing. I mean, evolution and change is a good thing. There's a lot of good things that will come out of this time. And your future will be exactly what you decide to make it. Dr. Shaw, my favorite quote from Dr. Shackley. So I'm going to encourage all of you to make a decision and get started with us on our team. You know, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here, and I'm going to pull Tony and Debbie back up. But Tony, you know, I think a lot of people, you and I talked a little earlier about trying to give some guidance and some training on the best ways to open conversations with people and to share these kind of things. And I think you and I and maybe a couple other people are going to do a training, recorded training here at some point in the next couple of weeks about trying to give you some tips and some advice on how do I contact, what do I say, how do I follow up, you know, how do I do those kinds of things. I think you and I can get into that, and I think that would be helpful for people. You know, that being said, I for those of you that are old friends, I I'm sorry that we kind of told the same story again, but it's still a great story. And you know, I wanted to really talk to those of you that are the new friends and encourage you to take a step forward and join our team. So Tony and Debbie, thanks for having me on. Thanks for putting this whole thing together. I hope it was helpful, and I'm going to throw it back to you.
Great. Thank you, Shawn. Thank you. I know you're probably your voice is exhausting there after 3 times, but that was awesome. I think the next one's at 2:30, Shawn.
30. Yeah, you got it.
We just do one every 2 hours, you know.
There you go.
So if you're a guest on here, I just want to encourage you to just talk to the person. You know, I mean, I know texting is the thing today, or emailing, but you can't really get a true sense. So if you're going to say yes or no, then make sure you know what you're saying yes or no to. And that's just a smart decision. And like Shawn said, it may not be the business for you because of whatever objection you might have. I went through some of those in the plan, whether it's you don't have time or money, and it's usually something else that you may have read or you may have heard. And not every company is the same. Not every doctor is the same. You know, not every restaurant's the same. You know, you have bad experiences with the phone company, but you still use your phones. You have a bad experience with other people, but you still talk to other people. So just don't base it on just one bad experience. If you've had that, make sure you get all the facts. And the 65-year-old company should tell you something that is probably legal, right? I would think. And you think if you got 100% guarantee on the products after 65 years,
nothing to lose.
You couldn't even stay in business. So Joe, any closing remarks, and then I'll close it out.
Yeah, just you know, honestly, I think that you know the opportunity we have right now is just incredibly huge, right? I used this saying before, but you know, when you can find a need and fill it, or find a wound and heal it, you've got an amazing opportunity to do something great. And you know, here at Shackley and through the distributor opportunity, you have the ability to work from home when you want, with who you want, and to help people increase their health and wellness, which has never been you know, at a higher demand right now. So I would just challenge you guys to give it a shot. You know, if you're on the fence and you're like, I don't know, maybe this, that, or the other, if you were to jump in, you know, buy a business pack, and you decide that you don't like it, and you can get your money back on that, right? Right now we're doing half off to enroll as a distributor. It's $25, right? So essentially, you could sign up and have the ability to change your life, you know, long term, and get out there and help so many other people change their lives for the positive. And you know, at the end of the day, if you try the products and you don't like them, you get your money back on those, and you've invested $25. And honestly, I can't think of another business where you could do that and stand to gain so much and risk so little. So anyways, big thanks to you, Tony, Debbie, you know, Shawn, everybody who's been involved. Thank you all for spending some time with us today. And that's what I got.
Deb?
Yes, I think it's been a wonderful day. Thank you to everybody who's participated. Thank you for you people that are on here seeing this for the very first time. And some of you that are already beginning to think, understand that like some of those that are shared today, like Erin, like Lorene and Linda, people out there are having an epiphany right now in their lives, going through this tough time, and they are ready to look at life very differently. Now is the time to reach out to help them with their health, to help them with their income. And we certainly have all of that here.